So it is 7:20 in the morning. You're probably thinking, okay, am I up? Because I haven't gone to sleep yet. Because I'm a night person and I'm normally going to sleep at this time. Or am I up? Or like, what's going on? But, so I am up for a few reasons. I am up because I went to bed about maybe like 1:02 in the morning. I wasn't paying that much attention to the time that I don't normally do a lot, to be honest. Some people are like, oh, what time did you go to bed? And it's like, I have no clue. If anything, maybe like, I don't know. Sometimes I pay attention to the time. It's just, I've been exhausted the last 2 days. So I've been going to bed early. It's like, normally this is like the time I'm going to bed. I probably realistically would have been in bed for about an hour and a half by now. But I just been going to bed early, so I woke up about 6 o'clock to having a Charlie horse, and that lasted about a good hour because my Charlie horse when I get a Charlie horse, they last forever. My Charlie horse is on every day I get a Charlie horse, and if I don't get a Charlie horse, then it's an acid reflux attack. So it's either one or the other. And I don't know what one is easier to get through. I don't know if it's easier to deal with acid reflux. I don't know if it's easier to deal with a Charlie horse because they're both painful. They're both irritating. But anyways. So I had a Charlie horse for about an hour. I was able to go back to sleep finally, but then my dad woke me up to take him to the train in Bartlett because he's going to the city for some training. So I just got back. So I stopped at Taco Bell because let me tell you something. I've never had Taco Bell at like 7 o'clock in the morning or 7:20 in the morning. But I have a taste. I still have a taste for Taco Bell. Like, I want Taco Bell so bad. Probably thinking, well, they have breakfast. Why not get the breakfast? No. I've tried Taco Bell's breakfast. Like, the year it came out, I tried it. I tried that, like, waffle taco thing. And I about, like, gagged. I had, like, one bite, maybe 2 bites. And I was like, I'm done. This is not food. I don't know what that is. The only thing really breakfast, I guess, I like that Taco Bell has that they consider breakfast item, even though they sell it throughout the night, is those those Cinnabon things. Are about the only things breakfast I like from Taco Bell. Even though, to be honest, the last couple years, those haven't been as good as they used to. Before, I know they used to be like crispy and crunchy, and now you get them and they're like hard, or they're like soft and not more of like the crunchy. So I don't know if it's like a type of thing where when they make it, you have to eat it right away, else it's gonna get hard and soft. And it's not gonna really taste like it's fried. It's gonna taste more like it was baked, if you know what I mean. They're like something you have to eat right away. So I don't normally get them as often just because I don't know if it's just my Taco Bell, but they're not the best anymore like they used to be. I remember when you used to bite into them, they kind of made like a soft crunch, kind of almost, if you know what I mean. Now you bite into them and it's like biting into like a donut. Anyways, but I wanted Taco Bell really bad. I was like, I haven't had Taco Bell in a few weeks, so I feel like Taco Bell is gonna be for lunch today. So I go there and I'm like, barely out of gas. I just barely have any gas. I think I have enough to go back today for lunch and then back home. I'm definitely going back there today to get lunch. But I go there and I'm like, oh yeah, can I have the number 11? And she's like, oh, I only do on breakfast. And I'm like, dang it. I had a feeling that they were going to say that. Even though you don't know. Because some places you go there and they're like, okay, they sell breakfast, but yet they also sell lunch at the same time. So, but I really wanted Taco Bell. Like, I want it so bad. But I have a few hours until they probably serve lunch. Serve lunch. Serve is hard for me to pronounce, but probably go back to about 10 or 11. Because I don't know if I'm going back to bed. I'm going to obviously try to go back to bed, but y'all know that once I'm up, I'm normally up for the day. And I'm normally not going back to bed unless I'm super sleepy or I'm sick or like, I don't know. Normally once I'm up, I'm up. I can't go back to sleep, but I mean, I obviously always try, but I don't know. Feels like I might be going back to sleep because I am a little sleepy, but I don't know. So, you know what movie I really want to watch? I haven't seen in a while. And I don't know why I particularly want to watch this movie. Because I don't want to say I hate this movie, but I do like this movie. This movie that I'm going to tell you what I want to watch. It's an okay movie. I mean, it's funny. I get it. There's some parts that are funny, but I don't know why all of a sudden I want to watch it, but I kind of want to watch the movie Ted. And I've seen Ted a few times. The one with Mark Wahlberg and the talking teddy bear, you know, like the Teddy Ruxpin or something, you know, Ted. I've seen the first one. I've seen the second one. They were both an okay movie. They weren't my favorite movie, but they're definitely like in my top like 50 favorite movies, I guess. If I had to put it in a category. It's not like my top 5 or 10. For some reason, I like really want to watch it because I haven't seen it in a while. I also kind of have a taste for Christmas movies, and you're probably thinking, wait, don't say that word. Like, why you say that word? It's like when I talk to my dad about snow, and he's like, hey, shut up, why you say that word? I hate that white shit that falls from the sky. He calls it white shit that falls from the sky. And it's like, well, I hope it's not white shit that falls from the sky, because that would be, like, nasty. Oof. Anyways. I do have kind of a taste, not that I would particularly have a taste, but I kind of have a feel for watching Christmas movies right now, because I think the reason for Christmas movies is because I'm very cold right now. Like, if it was up to me, I would turn the heat on, because that's how cold I am. But I know if I turn the heat on, even though I can easily turn it off before Mom and Dad comes home, not that they're gonna know that it was on, but I don't know, so to be on the safe side, I'm not gonna turn on the heat. Not that they would really yell at me, but still, it's like, you know, I don't want to turn it on quite yet, because I'm cold. I do want to say I am cold enough that if it was particularly my house, I would turn on the heat like there was no tomorrow, because that's how cold it is. I had my heater on today in my room, last night in my room. I had it on, even though I get very nervous with my heater because I got a room heater, and I don't know if it's just because we have an old house. I don't know if that's because room heaters take a lot of energy, take a lot of electricity, but depending on a lot of things. Sometimes like, especially like in the winter when we have like, well, not so much anymore because our heat works. For like a while our heat was broken in the winter. Like one winter we woke up, it was after Christmas. One winter we woke up and our heat broke, and we had to wait a couple days because the person that we know that fixes it was like out of town or something. So we were without heat for like 5 or 6 days. Almost a week because, excuse me, sorry, my stomach's like upset. He was out of town. So my dad went out to like Menards or Home Depot, and he got like a bunch of room heaters. he got like, let's see, altogether he got 6, I want to say. Because he got one for my room, one for my sister's, one for my mom's, one for his room, one for the kitchen because we had to have one in the kitchen because we didn't want the pipes to freeze. I believe he had one in the living room, if I'm not mistaken. Because I know he had one in the living room because my dog Baxter would always lay right in front of it. And I would be like, is it safe for the dog to lay right in front of the heater? Like, he has 6 layers of 4. Why does he need to be right in front of the heater? I don't know. My dog was a 4-legged Wookiee, but he loved Baxter boy. My boy. He loved to be covered in the blanket. He loved to be tucked in. He loved to lay his head on a pillow. He was such a handsome fella. I miss him so much, but as much as I love to talk about him, I can't because I'll start to cry because that's how much I miss him, and I really do wish he was here because I would cuddle with him right now, and I would lay my head on him, and it would probably only last like 5 minutes because then he would want to get up because, like I mentioned before, Baxter, my dog, he wasn't particularly like a cuddle bug dog. Like, he wouldn't really like to be cuddled, but like he would let you cuddle him, but it wouldn't last for a very long time. Like, I was a person where I could care less. I would climb and lay on the floor with him all the time. My dad would yell at me, "Get off the floor." I was like, "I'm laying with Baxter, I don't care." And then my mom would yell at me when he licked my face, and she would be like, "The dog licks his ass." And I was like, I still don't care. You know? But, anyways, I loved him. You know, he was so cute. But I definitely remember those times. Like, right now, if he was here, I would literally be snuggled up against him. And, like I said, it probably wouldn't last very long, but it would definitely warm you up. It would definitely warm you up. Especially under his chest. Like, his chest hairs. That was, like, his softest place in his body was his chest. I could literally put my hand in his chest, and I would be buried in, like, 6 inches of fur. He had so much fur. You know, he was like a Alaskan Husky. He was a shepherd. He was I can't remember exactly because we did do a DNA test on him before he passed away. I think he had like, his personality was Golden Retriever. I mean, we saw Golden Retriever. I was like, Golden Retriever? And Kaylin was like, that's his personality. And it's like, oh, I can see that. I can see that his personality is Golden Retriever. But he had like Alaskan Husky. He had German Shepherd. He had wild dog / it was like wild dog / wolf. So, like, he did have part wolf in him. Not like Bolto. So he was a half dog, half wolf. But he did have bits and pieces and flecks of wolf / wild dog. That we knew that because he would howl. Like, it only happened like once or twice in his whole entire life. But there were times where, like I said, this was only twice, where we would be sleeping upstairs and we would hear a woo, like a deep wolf howl. And it wasn't like a long one. It was a slow like that. I can't really howl like a wolf, but it would be like, you know, and it would be like, okay, what the hell is that? Like, the first time it happened, it creeped the heck out of us. I was actually sleeping in my mom's bed, because when I was younger and I was sick, my mom kind of had a thing where I had to sleep in her bed when I was sick, because she said, if you stop breathing, or if you start shaking, like having a seizure, she said, I need to know. So, I miss the days where my mom He used to wake me up when I was sick, and she'll be like, okay, how you feel today? You feel fine? Are you still sick? I don't feel a fever. You're fine. You can go to school. And I'll be like, ah, you know. But no, she wasn't that bad. But anyways, so anyways, one night, morning, evening, whatever, I was sleeping in my mom's bed. My dad was at work because he worked at the fire department at the time. My sister was at home because she was still in high school when this happened. I don't know exactly when this happened. I don't know if she was in high school yet. But we were sleeping in the bed, and we were kind of somewhat in the steps of going to sleep. We were like shutting our eyes, starting to go to sleep. And we hear this noise. And I hear it first. And I'm like, my door's like making a lot of cracky noises. I think this is like the time of year my house starts to shift. Like starts to move because of the cold weather coming. Like, does your house shift in the change of the seasons? My house shifts. Not as much as some other houses. Like, my house does shift. And when it shifts out of place, so in place, whatever, you know what I mean. It does make a little noise. But then one time I was at my cousin's during like the winter time. During the winter, and we were watching like a scary movie. Because me and my cousin, you know, Boone County. It was in Boone County. It was just me and her. Her parents were at work. And, well, her mom was at the bar, and her dad was at work and then went to the bar. So it was just me and her at home. And McKenna, her dog. And all of a sudden, we're sitting watching a scary movie, and it's like, I heard noises. Like, the house was, like, squeaking, like someone was, like, walking upstairs or, like, moving or something. And she's like, it's just a house. And it's like, okay, houses make noises. So then we're going through the movie, and I'm like, I still hear noises. And she's like, it's the house. And it's like, how can it be the house? And she's like, the house shifts. It's winter. It moves in the winter. And I was like, well, my house does too, but it doesn't make this much noise either. And she's like, trust me, it's the house. He said, it scares me at first. The first couple weeks it does it, but it's the house. And like, okay, but dang, go. And so I don't like those noises when I'm watching a scary movie. It makes me think that someone's in the house. I'm about ready to run out the front door. Technically the back door because it was the closest door to us. But anyways, yeah, so my door's making like a lot of noises. It's like really weird. Anyways, so we were sleeping, and all of a sudden I hear this noise. I'm like, wait, what is that? And then my mom starts to hear it, and she's like, what the hell? And she goes like this. She's like, Brenna. And I'm like, what? I said, what? She's like, what's that noise? And it's like, you don't know. And she like grabs on me. And then I start coughing because I was like sick and having an upset stomach. And it's like, don't grab on me like that. And she's like, I don't know what that noise is. And it's like, well, I don't know either. Where's Baxter? Where's Caitlin? So we get up. And she's like, well, I have to go check it out. And it's like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You could just stay here. I'm sure it's maybe the wind or something. And it gets louder. We're like, what is that noise? And we're like, it's Baxter. You know, it must be Baxter. It's gotta. So we get to the hallway. We don't turn on the lights, and I'm scared to death. Like, I'm almost shaking. I think my mom wasn't scared or shaking because her mom's skills were kicking in. You know, trying to figure out what that noise was in the house. And she's like, it's Baxter. I was like, what do you mean it's Baxter? And she's like, I can kind of see him sitting on the bottom of the stairs. And then he howls again. And we're like, oh, it is Baxter boy. And we're like, he must be having a nightmare. So then we flip on the lights because we're going to go wake him up. We flip on the lights, and he wakes up, and he stretches, and then he twists his head to look back up behind him to see us. And we're like, what are you doing, you goofy dog? And then he gets up and comes upstairs and hops in our bed. And it was just creepy because, like, yes, we know it was Baxter, so then it wasn't so much creepy. But, like, you hear a wolf howl, like an actual wolf howl, no matter how loud or how long it is, and it's creepy. Like, it's creepy, like, the first time you hear it. And he only did it, like, one at a time throughout his whole life. Maybe 2 or 3 times he howled. But yeah, so that's how we knew he had wolf in him. He was like, he must have wolf, because that's no just dog howl, that's a wolf howl. That's like an actual wolf howl. So, anyways, I would definitely be cuddling up with him right now. But I really do wish he was here. He loved the snow. Oh my goodness, Baxter boy. He loved the snow. I gotta stop because I'm gonna start to cry. I really don't want to cry, but anyways, I just have a taste for Taco Bell. And I have a mood to watch Ted, even though I'm probably gonna watch a couple movies once I get Taco Bell, but yeah. Ooh, my stomach's like a little upset. I think it's because I'm hungry. So, my dad's in the city, and my mom gets ready for work about like 5:30, 6-ish. She knocked on my door and she's like, "What are you doing up? Please tell me you went to bed." And it's like, "Yeah, I was in bed." She's like, "Then what are you doing up? You didn't sleep." And it's like, "No, I fell asleep. I went to sleep. I slept throughout the night. I'm just up because I have a trolley horse." She's like, "Again?" And it's like, "It's every day, Mom. Every day." So anyways, after she got dressed before she left, she came back up and she's like, "Oh, maybe you should go to the city with your dad. You can get some lunch. Or just hang out and go to Navy Pier or something." And I thought about it, but it's like, nah. Now, if he was going to, like, the city at, like, 10 o'clock in the morning, okay, so I had to hear that dispatch, what that was for. Anyways, even though it's not our dispatch, it was in our tone, so I'd still like to listen. Anyways, door, stop making noises, it's creepy. I hate this house. I love this house, but I hate this house. My house, like I said, is old, so, like, if you have a heater on in your room, you have to make sure you don't have a lot of stuff plugged in, because it will blow a fuse. I have a specific spot where I have to plug in my heater, because if I plug it in a certain outlet, it will blow a fuse, no joke. So I know what outlet won't blow a fuse. For example, the outlet by the outlet by my bedroom door, if I plug it in there, it will blow a fuse. If I plug it in the outlet beneath my desk, it won't blow a fuse. And you gotta make sure that you don't have a lot of stuff plugged in. You gotta make sure you don't have a lot of stuff going on. So, the heaters blow a fuse very easily. I mean, I'm technically the only one that uses the heater still in the winter. Everyone else doesn't, because we got a heat fix, like, as soon as the guy came back from vacation or whatever, when he was out of town. We got it fixed, like, right away. But dude, I came downstairs that winter. It was like January, February, one of those 2 months. It was after Christmas. And I was like, "Why is it so cold?" Like, you could literally see your breath. And my dad's like, "Goddamn people." And he was like madder than wet. But anyways, even the dog was cold. And it's like, "Oh, snap." And he's like, "Yeah, and so-and-so won't be back until like a week or something." And like, okay, so like, what does this mean? And he's like, "I gotta go to Menards." I was like, okay. So I went with him. Actually, no, I didn't go with him, because he was like mad. I was like, you know what? He needs his steam off. He's that type of dad. Anyways. So, he came back and we put room heaters in. And to be honest, like, people said, how did you survive like a week in January in Chicago without heat? And like, to be honest, surviving a week in Chicago without heat wasn't all that bad. Just as long as you were under a blanket and you had the heater on, to be honest, it really was not that bad. Now, if you were like in the bathroom, we technically couldn't plug in the heater in the bathroom because the outlet kept blowing a fuse. Like, one time I was in the shower and it was during that time and I had the heater on and all of a sudden it went black and I freaked out. Like, I hate the dark to begin with. I have like a phobia almost about being in the dark. That's how much I hate the dark. I absolutely hate the dark. And all of a sudden I'm in the shower and the lights go black and I scream and I'm like, oh my god, the lights! What's going on with the lights? Why are the lights off? And my mom and dad come running in and they're like, what the hell's wrong? And they're like, oh shit, you blew a fuse. And I'm like, I don't care, turn the lights on. And that's when we figured, you can't have the heater plugged in the bathroom. So like during that week that the heat was out, we could never leave the heater on inside the bathroom. So like when we went in the shower and all that, it was freezing. Even though it wasn't bad because you would turn the water on hot. But just as long as you were under the blanket and you had the heater on, it wasn't too bad. That's when we came home, we pretty much took off a coat, took off our shoes, went upstairs, put on our pajamas, comfy clothes, in my case pajamas, and hid under the blankets and snuggled up with Baxter because it was cold. It was cold, I swear that whole 1 week that we had no heat, Baxter slept in my room. Baxter was in a trend where for about a year or two, he slept in my room. Every night, he slept in my room. And he would either sleep in, it was for like a year or two, so it was during the summer and winter. And there were nights where I would go to the kitchen. He would follow me because he was a dog that liked to follow you into the kitchen. And he was the kind of dog when he was younger or middle age, he would follow you a lot of places. So he would follow me in the kitchen. He would think he was going to get food. And then he would follow me out. And I would walk past the stairs and he would start to go up the stairs and look at me. And I'd be like, oh, okay, I guess we're going to bed. So we would go in my room. He would circle around the floor like 10 times. And I always wondered why some dogs, before they lay down, they circle around. The reason for that, and I don't know if this is the exact reason, but it's I'm sure one of the reasons. I don't know if it's the exact reason, but it comes from being a wolf. And all dogs have wolf in them. Some dogs have more levels of wolf than other dogs. Like my dog had 30% wolf, 20 to 30% wolf in him. So he had a lot of wolf in him. That's WOLF, like the actor. Like Michael J. Fox, Jamie Foxx, Wolf, like the actor from The Night Shift. Anyways, I don't know his first name, but he was in the TV show The Night Shift that I loved. Anyways, so Baxter would circle around 5 or 6 times. And why dogs do this is to make sure that the land or area that they're going to lay down in is safe. So they circle around to make sure that it's a safe, hard area to lay down. Like, they don't want to lay down and have, like, the floor or something cave in or something. So they walk around in circles to make sure that it's safe enough to lay down. And I never knew that. Because he would do it, like, 20 times sometimes. And I would just be like, sit your arse down. Sit your furry butt down. His butt was so furry. Like, every inch of that dog was furry. And like we said, you know, when he was younger, we used to brush him, and he loved to be brushed. And it got to the point where after we were done brushing him outside, it literally looked like it snowed. Like he had enough for after we would brush him. And you probably could make a blanket. Oh, probably have like 4 or 5 other small little dogs. Like he had enough for to make like probably 6 chihuahuas. That's how much fur he had. And my mom would always brush him, and I would always hold him or help her, even though he was pretty okay when it came to brushing him, because he would either sit or lay down. So he was pretty easy when it came to brushing him. The only hard part when it came to brushing him was, and I don't blame him for this, and he was always like this his whole entire life, he hated when people touched his butt. Now you're probably thinking, well, why the hell would you do Michael Jackson and touch that dog's ass? Well, we had to brush back there because it was literally fur, and we would have to brush the tangles out or like clean his butt because his stuff that came out, you know, would stick to his ass, and sometimes he would get clotted or something or have trouble going to the bathroom, and we would have to cut it, or like he would go and it would like be hanging, and I'll be like, it's hanging from his fur. My mom's like, you gotta get a paper towel and grab it, and I would be like, I can't. I would literally just gagging thinking about it. He was my dog, so I did it, but like I would not like. So, anyways, he hated having his butt touched. Like, when my mom got older and her arthritis kicked in, we wouldn't brush him anymore. Like his last, I want to say like maybe his last 4-5 years, we took him to PetSmart just to clean him and bathe him and brush him. We gave him a bath here at the house maybe twice. Throughout his whole life, he got a bath twice here at the house. And anyways, we were just taking him to PetSmart, but he loved to be brushed. He loved to be vacuumed. He loved to vacuum. He hated the lawnmower. And when it came to the part where my dad would go out and cut the grass, Baxter would always bark and try to pounce on it. It's like a few times when my dad took the vacuum out to clean for the Christmas tree to be put up, Baxter would try to bite it and pounce at it. And whenever Dad vacuumed, he would always come and sit by me to protect me. Anyways. Baxter boy. There's so many stories. I could go on, but I gotta go to the bathroom. I've been talking long enough. My hand's hurting from holding the phone up, so... Ooh, excuse me. I think I'm gonna let you go. And I'll talk to you all later. So, bye-bye. BB out.